Danny Garcia. Now that you talked about your heritage and where you come from, brother, there was some things said at the press conference that everybody's been talking about. I talked with Coach Dan earlier, and he let me know that you guys are professionals. You don't get caught up in words. But with the climate and the way things have been going on lately in the news, the media, everything that's going on, very volatile climate, to be called out like that, bro, in front of the whole world, you handled yourself remarkably. Honestly, you did.
I don't know what it looks like. Everybody says I handle myself good, but for 3 seconds, I was about to just...
But yeah, talk about that, man. What was that like, bro? Because he really went in. I mean, that wasn't cool.
I mean, you know, like I said, for 3 seconds, it was under my skin, you know. When I walked over there, when I crossed the podium, you know what I mean? There was a part of me that's like, look, man, we can end all this right here, right now. You know, everybody, we all come from the streets. Lots of fighters come from the streets. A lot of people come from hard times. You know what I mean? Some kids' hoods are worse than other kids' hood. But, you know, most boxers don't come from privileged families. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, you know, he was throwing out fighting words, you know, and it got under my skin for 3 seconds. And I was like, look, man, he ain't even understanding what we both built for ourselves, what his son built for himself, what kind of career his son has, what kind of career I have. Look, man, I'm ready for trash talk. You know what I mean? But there's a professional way of going about it. There's a way to be confident. There's a way to be cocky. You know what I mean? But what he was, man, it's just pure ignorant. You know what I mean? So after I got my senses under me, I said, look, man, let him be ignorant, because that's what he's being. Don't let that ignorance get to you, and don't acknowledge it. If anything, I told everyone in this gym, we're not talking about Angel Garcia. We're not adding fuel to the fire, and we're not going to acknowledge ignorant behavior. You know what I mean? So all we're doing out here is going to work and get ready for Danny Garcia. When me and Garcia were face to face after all that other little drama, you know, Garcia was saying his little confidence stuff, and that's what I like to hear, man. I like to hear directly from the fighter, how do you feel about me? How do you feel about this fight? You know, where's your heart at? You know what I'm saying? And he's ready, man. I know he's ready. He's a world-class fighter. He's a true champion, and I'm a true champion, and we're gonna get it in, man. It's gonna be a good fight.
Now, that being said, champ, everybody's talking about your ability to take body shots. And I know that Danny's saying that you can't take body shots, and they talked about the Collazo fight, and they talked about a shot during the Porter fight, and this, that, and the third. So if that is supposed to be your Achilles heel, what are you going to do to rectify that going into this next fight?
So, funny thing is, I can't take a body shot, but I took them all. I can't take a body shot, but I took them all. You can't take a body shot, you on your knee, boy. Okay? You know, go ask Diego Chavez when I hit him to the body. You know, go ask Carlos Quintana in the round 1 when I hit him to the body. Round 1, it's not like he was winded. It's not like he didn't have the gas in his tank. Body shots hurt, bro. This is one thing. When they touch you to the body, that ain't nothing. When they hit you to the body, it can do something. A real hit to the body can be devastating, man. And you know, so they say, like, you know, like Amir doesn't have a chin. People say that because he gets hit and he goes down. They're saying I can't take a body shot, but I ain't been down. So I can take it, man. But body shots are real, and the reason why they're real is because no matter how hard somebody hits another man to the body, they will never go unconscious. You understand this? When Mike Tyson hit people to the head, they were asleep.
They went to sleep.
Okay? Not at any time can somebody, doesn't matter if they take a baseball bat to your ribs, okay? When he breaks your rib, you will be consciously aware of that, and you will have to suffer and endure the pain. That's what happened against Luis Collazo. It was a devastating, well-timed, perfect body shot with weight transferred into it. Got right underneath me as I missed the straight right hand. Boom. I had to endure the pain. Made me fold over for a second. I could have went down on the knee, but I said, look, you go down, you got to stand up now. Move your legs, survive the rest of the round. Do what you got to do, get back to work in the next round. And that's what we did, man. Being a champion is not about just how you give a punch, it's also how you take a punch, you know. And to me, I've proven it on several different occasions. And also, I fought with a hematoma. I fought with the cut against Porter. There's nothing that's going to discourage me from continuing in a fight. So, let the fans have their opinions. Every human being is an opinionated individual. But at the end of the day, man, I'm still a beast.
Now, real quick, Champ, what made you decide to take the Garcia fight? I mean, naturally, he's a 140 guy, and he's coming up to face you as a naturally bigger guy. There are other guys at 47 that people want to see Keith Thurman fight. Not that people don't want to see this fight because it's going to be a hell of a fight. But, I mean, there were other good names that were thrown around out there. Why Garcia?
Well, it's simple, man. It's called the WBC, the WBA title, man. You know what I mean? I worked really hard to be where I am, and I've wanted to dominate the welterweight division, and I want to unify these titles. I was elevated, and Floyd retired, Floyd vacated, and Garcia got Floyd's vacated title. The winner of this fight will be the unified champion. The last man to hold these two world titles was Floyd Mayweather. So to me, it signifies the new generation, that there is some young bucks up and coming here to hold down the welterweight division and be that next dude on the scene. Nobody can outdo Mayweather or take his spotlight so quick. It's a gradual process. You got to stay at the top for a long time. That's how Mayweather got so famous in the first place, was being at the top and staying at the top throughout the duration of his whole career. So this is really just a stepping stone of branching out and separating myself from the rest of the competition at 147.
All right, Champ. We're going to let you out here, man. I definitely appreciate the time, brother. And we'll be back, man. And keep training, and we'll be here to catch you, man.
One love, man. I'll be right here, St. Pete Boxing, holding it down.